Nobody expected Larry Bird to do this on live TV. The moment he grabbed Caitlin Clark's microphone, the entire arena went silent. Face screaming in fear, what Bird said next shocked the WNBA world and left Caitlin Clark fighting back tears in a moment fans will never forget.
Here. The key question with Larry Bird, they were in a hard cap in the NBA, and when you look at this and bringing it back home, Adam Silver, Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Breanna Stewart, who are the superstars of the WNBA, but especially for Caitlin because she has such brand marketing deals, probably averaging $30 to $50 million a year. The Bird rights gives a team an opportunity to re-sign its best player and not be restricted by the cap.
Larry Bird rarely speaks unless he truly wants to. The three-time NBA champion, Hall of Famer, and NBA legend has always been known for letting his game do the talking. These days, Bird stays out of the spotlight and almost never makes public appearances. But everything changed in one surprising moment. Just 2 minutes ago on live television, Larry Bird walked up to Caitlin Clark, took the microphone from her, and said something that stunned the entire sports world. What happened next, and Caitlin Clark's reaction, left everyone speechless. Before we continue, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content. Surprisingly, nearly 83% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It only takes a second, it's completely free, and it helps the channel grow tremendously. Already subscribed? Thank you for your support. Now, let's get back to the story.
And put an understanding out, because with Caitlin and what the players and the collective bargaining agreement are negotiating, folks, I'm wondering if it's the best fit for the top players of the WNBA. CBA agreements, the collective bargaining agreement is coming up. They're going to have an intense meeting for All-Star Weekend. And I wanted to bring this up for Caitlin Clark and the Larry Bird rights rule. And we'll start from a revenue perspective as Caitlin leads the league in revenue. Where am I going with this? It wouldn't make sense to have a contract for Caitlin Clark.
To understand it, you have to see it for yourself. Let's go back for a moment. The interview was supposed to be a normal post-game conversation. After scoring 28 points, dishing out 10 assists, and hitting a clutch three-pointer, Caitlin Clark had helped the Indiana Fever pull off an impressive comeback when everything seemed routine as the interviewer praised her leadership and asked about her relationship with her teammates. Then something unexpected happened. The crowd suddenly became louder than it had been all night. From the tunnel emerged Larry Bird, the Indiana basketball legend whose name is forever connected to the sport's history. With his eyes locked on Caitlin Clark, he walked straight toward the broadcast table. At first, Clark didn't notice. She was smiling, answering questions, and handling the interview as usual. Then the interviewer stopped talking, the cameras zoomed out, the entire arena stood up. Clark turned around and saw him. She froze, not out of fear, but out of pure surprise. Larry Bird, a man who rarely appears in public, was walking directly toward her. The atmosphere instantly changed. Everyone could feel it. What happened next was not planned. It wasn't rehearsed. It was completely real. Bird stepped forward, gently took the microphone from Clark, and turned toward the camera. Then he delivered words that people would talk about for years. "I've been watching basketball for a long time," he said calmly, "and I've never seen anything quite like this. She's the real deal. I haven't seen a competitor this tough since the 1980s, and I'm not going to stay silent while people try to tear her down." For a brief moment, the arena was silent, then the crowd exploded with cheers. Bird wasn't just complimenting Clark's performance, that he was making a statement, that he was defending her. And he was sending a message to everyone watching that he stepped into the spotlight, not for himself, but for Caitlin Clark, the rookie who kept showing up no matter how much criticism, rough play, and doubt came her way. Today as Bird spoke, Clark covered her face. She shook her head, her lips trembled, and for the first time on live television, Caitlin Clark began to see why it wasn't because she was weak or overwhelmed. It was because one of the greatest players in basketball history had just passed the torch to her. Larry Bird knew what it meant to carry expectations, handle pressure, and represent Indiana basketball at the highest level. But Bird wasn't done. "She doesn't need protection," he said, "but she does deserve respect. And if you can't give her that, then you're not really watching the game. You're only looking at your own fears." The crowd erupted. That was classic Larry Bird, direct, honest, and completely unscripted. No public relations message. No carefully chosen words. Just the truth as he saw it. Bird handed the microphone back to Clark, still emotional. She wiped away tears while the interviewer quietly stepped aside. Did I end that moment? It felt like two generations of basketball had come together. There was no script, no marketing campaign, no special event. It was simply real. The truth is, no rookie in WNBA history has faced the level of attention and pressure that Caitlin Clark has faced. From the moment she entered the league, every move she made was analyzed. Every foul, every comment, and every game became a headline. She quickly became the face of the league's future while also carrying the weight of its past debates and expectations. Yet through it all, she never backed down. Larry Bird saw that. Unlike many people in the media, Bird understands what it's like to be criticized for being great. He knows what it's like to silence hostile crowds, play under constant pressure, and have people misunderstand your confidence. When he looked at Caitlin Clark, he didn't just see a talented player. He saw someone who loves the game, competes to win, speaks honestly, and refuses to change who she is just to make others comfortable. That's why Bird's public support meant so much. It wasn't just a compliment. It was a powerful statement. In an era where many athletes are carefully managed and coached on what to say, Clark stands out because she feels genuine. And ironically, that authenticity is one of the reasons she has become such a target. Some people called her overrated. Others said she was getting too much attention. Depending on who was talking, Caitlin Clark was criticized for being too loud, too privileged, too confident, or simply for standing out too much. But none of that mattered to Larry Bird. Bird has always respected one thing above all else: great basketball players, and to him, Caitlin Clark is exactly that. His message was simple and clear: she belongs here. She's one of us. And if you don't see that, then you don't understand the game. After the moment aired, social media exploded. Within minutes, Larry Bird and Caitlin Clark were trending everywhere. Former NBA players shared their reactions. Basketball legends posted messages of support. One popular post said, "If Larry Bird said it, then it's true." Another wrote, "This feels like a turning point for the WNBA." Even people who had criticized Clark before suddenly became quieter. When Larry Legend speaks, basketball fans listen. The league responded quickly as well. The WNBA shared the full video across its social media platforms. Fans watched and shared it non-stop. Sponsors took notice. Interest around the fever grew even stronger, and excitement surrounding Clark reached another level. But the biggest change wasn't the headlines or the attention. It was the shift in attitude. The constant criticism started to fade. The endless nitpicking slowed down. Bird had made it harder for people to dismiss Clark's talent. For once, Caitlin Clark didn't need to defend herself. Larry Bird had done it for her, and when he spoke, his words carried the weight of decades of basketball history. This wasn't just another viral clip. It felt like a statement, a defining moment, a reminder that greatness should be appreciated, not attacked. Bird was saying what many fans had been thinking all along: let the kid play, let her grow, stop acting like being great is something she should apologize for. After that, Clark looked different on the court. She looked relaxed, she looked free, the pressure seemed lighter. She smiled again and played with energy and confidence. When reporters later asked her about Bird's surprise appearance, she paused for a moment, then, with emotion still in her voice, she simply said, "I never expected that." And for a player who always seems to have an answer, those few words said everything. But if Larry Bird believes I belong here, then I'm done doubting myself. That single line said everything. Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking records. She's breaking barriers. She has never asked for special treatment. She has only asked for a fair chance and the same respect given to every great player. And in that moment, she received that respect from one of the most respected figures in basketball history. What made the moment so powerful wasn't simply that Larry Bird defended a young star. It was that he stood up for the future of the game. And Caitlin Clark is carrying that future forward with confidence. As we reach the end of this story, it's worth thinking about what really happened. This wasn't just a viral clip. It wasn't just a headline. And it certainly wasn't just another post-game interview that people would forget a few days later. It felt like something much bigger. Moments like this are rare today. Every athlete is constantly judged. Every game is analyzed. Every mistake becomes a talking point. Social media never stops, and opinions come from every direction. Because of that, genuine moments stand out more than ever. That's why this scene connected with so many people. It wasn't carefully planned. It wasn't created for publicity. It was simply one basketball legend recognizing greatness in the next generation. Larry Bird saw something special in Caitlin Clark and wasn't afraid to say it. And whether you're a longtime fan or someone just discovering the game, there's something inspiring about seeing one generation pass its belief to the next. That's what made this moment memorable. Not the cameras, not the headlines, not the attention, but the message behind it. Great players recognize greatness, and sometimes all it takes is one respected voice to remind the world what they are really watching for. Caitlin Clark. That moment may have lasted only a few minutes, but the impact of it could be remembered for years today. Athletes are often judged before they even get the chance to prove themselves. Social media moves fast, and opinions spread even faster. Unfortunately, the loudest voices aren't always the most knowledgeable ones, but every now and then, someone speaks whose words truly matter, someone whose achievements have stood the test of time, someone who doesn't need publicity because they already have the respect of generations of basketball fans. That person is Larry Bird, and that's why this moment felt different. Bird could have stayed quiet. He could have watched from a distance like everyone else. He could have decided not to get involved at all. After all, he has nothing left to prove. His legacy is already secure. His place in basketball history has been established for decades. Yet when he saw the pressure, criticism, and expectations being placed on Caitlin Clark, he chose to speak up. He saw a young player carrying enormous attention and scrutiny from every direction, and instead of staying silent, he made his feelings clear. Because when Larry Bird speaks, people listen, not because he demands attention, but because he has earned it. Every championship, every big shot, every unforgettable performance built the credibility that gives his words meaning today. That's what made this moment so powerful. It wasn't just praise from a former player. It was recognition from one of the greatest competitors the game has ever seen. And for Caitlin Clark, hearing that support from someone like Larry Bird may have meant more than any statistic, award, or headline ever could.